Last time we took a very simple rosebud in shape and it was easy to draw, but in painting it was quite complicated. But this time I thought you might be interested in seeing a very simple painting too. And still let me try to show you how it can be easily painted. As always, we look for large shapes first. And the first large form is the very body of the bud, which smoothly passes into the stem. And then we can draw the single petal, which is quite well shown. And then we can kind of put those little green leaves on this bud. It's important to find where they are growing from, how much higher or lower they are relative to the bud, and their bend line. These leaves are twisted, but in this video you can find an explanation on how to draw them. I also wanted to say that, as a reference, it's better to find a nice picture that you like and yet is not too complicated for you, and you feel that you understand how to draw it and will be able to do it. And don't be in a rush to take on complex projects, all in good time. This rosebud can be found freely available on Unsplash.com. I've purposely picked a pretty simple image today to make it easier for you to draw. Here the petals haven't started to open yet. Next time we'll move on to a slightly more complex rosebud, where the petals have started to open. But I'm probably repeating myself. So let's go back to the drawing. At first I outline the shape of the leaf with a light press of the pencil, and then when I'm sure the line is correct, I press harder, although you probably know that this is how sketches are drawn. Sometimes they turns out to be kind of shaggy, with lots of light loose lines and one solid and confident one. Look, this rosebud we will draw and paint next time. It's a little more complicated. And today, as I promised, is the easiest way to paint a rosebud. Oops! It turns out I didn't rinse the brush well. It's got green paint on it. Well, I can rinse it now, wet this green spot properly again and use a paper towel to remove the green paint. And I practically succeeded. As in drawing, I start with the body of the bud. I need to get it wet, and I almost forgot to show today's dye set. This is turquoise left over from a background project. Yellow, crimson or magenta and warm green or chrome oxide. So first I need a medium tone of crimson. And this is a little diluted with water. It's not very saturated and not very light, just in the middle. I always keep paper towels handy to dry my brush, and with a dry brush I put on pure undiluted crimson and make the bud darker at the base. And this time I want to leave the palette in the frame and also enlarge the image. I dry brush again and pick up the green color. If you mix it with magenta, you get a pretty brown hue. With it, I make the base of the bud even darker and put a drop on top, but it's too dark, and as always, porous paper will save the day. And actually, with the body of the bud we are done. but I forgot the little petal piece. And we used only 3 shades: a medium magenta, a concentrated magenta, and a browner version of it. And as I promised, it's super simple. The green part will be even easier, just 2 colors. I'm mixing turquoise and green, but you can take any ready-made green color you have. And it absolutely doesn't matter if you have dyes or paints. And you can paint these rosebuds separately as an exercise or as a painting, or integrate them into your large projects such as scarves, shawls or saris. You see, first I paint the whole green part flat with one color, no gradations yet. Now with the darker green I can paint a sort of shadow. I'm intentionally not checking the reference today, that will be next time. But if you paint the upper part of both a bud and leaves lighter and the lower part darker, it's a win-win option, it will always look convincing. Even though I darken the tops of these leaves to create some volume, you can skip that and just leave all the tips of the leaves light colored. And at the end, with the dry brush, I'll soften on the edges of the green. I really hope you enjoyed the video, maybe you even gave it a like, because any reaction to the video helps move it forward. And thank you so much to those who help promote the channel. You are a huge help and thank you very much again. Anyway, I wish you the best of luck in mastering your silk painting, and I'll see you.